Hey YouTube, Kiratoi here, bringing you all an update to my Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon Yu-Gi-Oh deck profile for post-Photon Hypernova. I would definitely say this is the cover card or cover deck for the latest Yu-Gi-Oh booster set, Photon Hypernova, giving us 2 new Xyz monsters and a bunch of new main deck support for Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, the deck used by Kite in the Yu-Gi-Oh Zexal series and the Yu-Gi-Oh Arc 5 series. A really awesome deck that focuses on XYZ summoning a bunch of different Galaxy Eyes number monsters and just generic Photon Xyz monsters to help power up this main go-to boss monster in the deck. I'm really happy with the results of the deck and all the new support we got to help with the playstyle of it. So let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So starting off with the main deck, our main go-to boss monster is Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. You can special summon this card from your hand by tributing 2 monsters with 2,000 or more attack during either player's battle step. When this card battles an opponent's monster, you can target the monster this card is battling, banish both it and this card, and then any monsters banned by this effect return to the field at the end of the battle phase. And if this card is banished by the effect of an Xyz monster, this card gains 500 attack for each Xyz material the Xyz monster had when it was banished. So you have more of a setup card. You use Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon for a good majority of all of your different summons in the deck, and it can easily be brought out with plenty of the cards we have in this deck to rely on. One of the other backup monsters that we run with Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon is Galaxy Eyes Afterglow Dragon. If you control a Galaxy Eyes monster, you can special summon this card from your hand in defense position. If this card is detached from an Xyz monster, as you activate that monster's effect, you can also take 1 Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon from your hand or deck and special summon it or attach it onto it as Xyz material you control. Then if you activate this effect during the battle phase, double the attack of all number Xyz monsters you control, and you can only use each effect of Afterglow Dragon once per turn. So this is basically, as the name says, the afterglow of the different card effects that your Galaxy Eyes is meant to do. A big powerhouse when comboed with our go-to Xyz monster in the deck, which is number 62, Galaxy Eyes Prime Photon Dragon, which also works with the new number C62 Neo Galaxy Eyes Prime Photon Dragon as added backup. But I really feel you only need 1 of this card in the deck with all the other search and setup we can do with it, including one of those searchers being our Galaxy Soldier. We are also running 3 copies of this card. You can send 1 other light monster from your hand to the graveyard to special summon this card from your hand in defense position, and when it's special summoned, you can add 1 Galaxy monster from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect of Galaxy Soldier once per turn. So once again, just an easy search for our Galaxy Eyes Afterglow Dragon. Having a monster with 2,000 attack can also make it one of the tributes for if we were to special summon out our Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon to the field as well. The level adjustment definitely does come into hand with this card, being able to use it with some of the other monsters we run in the deck. But for the last of the 3 ofs that we run, I also run 3 copies of Photon Vanisher. It cannot be normal summon or set. Must first be special summoned from your hand while you control a Photon or a Galaxy monster. Cannot attack the turn it is special summon, and you can only special summon Photon Vanisher once per turn this way. And if it's special summon, you can add 1 Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon from your deck to your hand. And an Xyz monster that was summoned using this card on the field gains the effect of banish any monster destroyed by battle with this card. So it's an added bonus when you use it for the Xyz play, but it's another setup card to search our main go-to monster from our deck to our hand. I'm also running 2 of the new Galaxy Summoner. If this card is normal or special summon, you can target 1 Photon or Galaxy monster in your graveyard except for Galaxy Summoner and special summon it in defense position. You can target 1 other light monster you control. It becomes level 4 until the end of this turn. And you can only use each effect of Galaxy Summoner once per turn. So here's one of the level adjustments for our Galaxy Soldier to then become a level 4 and work with Galaxy Summoner to summon out a good majority of other monsters that we run in the deck for our summon setups, including the new Galaxy Photon Dragon, which we'll get to when we go over the extra deck. I'm also running 2 copies of Galaxy Brave. If this card is in your hand, you can reveal 1 Photon monster in your hand, special summon this card, and if you do, its level becomes the level of that Photon monster. If this card is normal or special summon, you can target 1 Galaxy monster in your graveyard. This card's attack and defense become that monster's attack and defense. So it's just a replica copy of any of the Galaxy monsters you may have, and just another easy setup card for its level adjustment and being able to match up with some of those other monsters we have on the field. I also run 2 copies of Galaxy Knight. If you control a Photon or Galaxy monster, you can normal summon this card without attributing. When you do, target 1 Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon in your graveyard. If possible, regardless, this card would lose 1,000 attack. If it does, special summon that target in face-up defense. So just another way to get a Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon on the field for us to then use with our Galaxy Knight to overlay into a rank 8 Xyz play. I also run 2 copies of Photon Thrasher, just another easy special summon onto the field. Since it's also a Photon card, we can use it to overlay into our Star Liege Lord Galaxion, needing 2 level 4 Photon monsters to do so. And also with our Photon Advancer, which if a Photon monster is on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only special summon Photon Advancer once per turn this way, and it gains 1,000 attack if another Photon is on the field. So comboed very well with Thrasher, then being able to overlay into our Galaxion, which we can then use to search out our Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon that much more quickly. I also run 2 copies of Galaxy Wizard to finish off the monsters in the main deck. Once per turn, you can increase this card's level by 4 until the end of this turn, and you contribute this card to add 1 Galaxy card from your deck to your hand, except for Galaxy Wizard. So you can go for your Galaxy Eyes Afterglow Dragon, your Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, and plenty of other cards we run in the deck, including our Galaxy Soldier. You name it, Galaxy Wizard can easily search for any of those cards. Moving on now to the spells, I run 3 copies of Photon Sanctuary. You special summon 2 Photon tokens onto the field. In defense position, these tokens cannot attack or be used as single material for monsters. You cannot summon other monsters you summon this turn except for light monsters, which really isn't a problem because our entire extra deck is comprised of light monsters. You can also just use these Photon tokens to go into some of our link monsters in the extra deck, like Galaxy Eyes Soul Flare Dragon, which just needs 2 light monsters, including a monster with 2,000 or more attack. So these 2 tokens can be used for that, or for the tribute of our Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. So it's just a 1 spell combo to get our 3,000 attack point boss monster out onto the field. I also run 2 copies of Galaxy Expedition. If you control level 5 or higher Photon or Galaxy monster, special summon 1 level 5 or higher Photon or Galaxy monster from your deck and face up defense position. You can only activate 1 Galaxy Expedition per turn. So just controlling that level 5 or higher Photon or Galaxy monster, even if we just have Galaxy Soldier on the field, you can activate your Galaxy Expedition and then special summon that other monster from our deck onto the field that much more quickly using this spell. I'm also running 1 copy of the new Galaxy 100. This card can be searched with our 1 trap Photon Time Stop, which we'll go over when we get to the traps. With this card, when it's activated, you can send 1 Photon or Galaxy card from your deck to the graveyard. If Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon is special summoned to your field, except during the damage step, you can look at your opponent's extra deck, then apply one of these effects. You can banish 1 monster from it, or special summon 1 number monster from it to your field. You can only use this effect of Galaxy 100 once per turn. It's a really crazy card, how it works. You can either take away your opponent's resources, or you can take one of their numbers, just like Kite did in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Exo series. Being a number hunter, he would take that monster to use for himself, or even just being able to take it as an additional resource to use. If you get lucky and your opponent has a number 62 special summoned onto the field, you can then just use it to rank up into your number C62 Neo Galaxy Eyes Prime Photon Dragon, which you'll definitely see if you go up in the mirror match against any other Galaxy decks. I also run 1 copy of Galaxy Trance and 1 copy of Galaxy Zero, being an easy special summon with Galaxy Zero and being able to pay 2,000 life points to target a Photon monster in your graveyard and special summon it and 1 Galaxy monster from your deck with Galaxy Trance, being another setup for many of your extra deck plays, or just being able to get your Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon back onto the field when you use Galaxy Zero. I also run 1 copy of Photon Stream of Destruction, one of my favorite spells to use in the deck. If you control a Galaxy Eyes monster, target 1 card on the field and banish it. You can activate this during the turn, unless you control a Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. So with this card, you can activate this card during your turn if you have a Galaxy Eyes, but it's very easy to do so, and then just being able to get rid of a pesky card that may have a benefit from being destroyed on the field by just being able to banish it. It won't return to the field or anything, it'll be permanently banished. For some of the more generic spells that I run in the deck, I run 2 copies of Trade-In, just with a good number of level 8 monsters in the deck. If there were ones that we just really can't use without some of the other setups in the deck, we can at least discard it to the graveyard to hopefully get a better draw into our hand. And I also run 1 copy of Call by the Grave and 1 copy of Reinforcements of the Army for the Warrior Search and the graveyard shutdown of our opponent's cards. Moving on now to the traps, I run 2 copies of Photon Time Stop. You take 1 Photon or Galaxy Continuous spell or trap from your deck and either add to your hand or place it face up on your field. So this is just the easy access to the Galaxy 100 that I spoke of before. We only have 1 target for this card. You could also use this card if it's set in the owner's control and destroyed by your opponent's card effect during your opponent's turn. And if you control a Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon or Xyz monster that has material, you can activate this effect. It becomes the end phase of this turn, making it very risky for your opponent to want to destroy any of your cards you may have, because if they do destroy Photon Time Stop, it'll do just what Kite did in the anime. He time stopped everyone except for Yuma so they could have their duel. And for the rest of the traps, just 3 infinite impermanents, just a hand trap of choice, because with this deck, you really do want that going second setup. So if you have something to at least disrupt one of your opponent's big plays using this hand trap, you can then go into your second turn knowing you disrupted them of any of their go-to plays while being able to carry out some of your bigger Xyz plays that you'll do with your Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. And that is it for the main deck. We'll now move on to the X deck. We run a good number of different Galaxy Eyes support Xyz monsters for the majority of the X deck. Some of the number monsters that we run are number 62, Galaxy Eyes Prime Photon Dragon. Needing this card also for the setup of our new number C62. We run 1 number 90, Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord, and 1 number 38, Hope Harbinger Dragon Titanic Galaxy. You have spell negation and then just more when your opponent's monster effect activates with Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord. All of these 3 different number monsters to rely on in this deck depending on what play you may want to go for, and also being able to use them as resources for a good majority of them, not number 38, to go into cards like our Galaxy Eyes Full Armor Photon Dragon, and even before that using our play to rely on Xyz summoning into our Galaxy Eyes Cypher Blade Dragon, both being overlay options with our cards to use to get into bigger Xyz plays and have more materials on both of those cards to summon into. Our new boss monster is number C62, Neo Galaxy Eyes Prime Photon Dragon. You can also see summon this card using number 62, Galaxy Eyes Prime Photon Dragon you control, and transfer those materials onto this card. At the start of the battle phase, you can detach 1 material from this card, and this card can make up to 3 attacks on monsters during this battle phase. This card has Galaxy Eyes Prime Photon Dragon as material. It gains these effects. So with this card having it, it's unaffected by your opponent's monster effects, and it gains attack equal to the combined levels and ranks of all monsters attached to it. So this could be a big powerhouse on the field. So using your main play to go into your your number 62 with your Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, and then overlaying into this could be the final play you need to make against your opponent. Like I said, it's a true powerhouse, giving us a chaos version of number 62, which definitely does resemble number 107's chaos form as well, having the 3 heads and just the power stats to match. For some of the rank 4 monsters, I run 1 copy of Star Liege Paladinimo as another way to get over some of the more pesky monsters our opponent may control by making their attack go down to 0. Star Liege Lord Galaxion for the Galaxy Eyes search, and the new Galaxy Photon Dragon needing just the 2 level 4 monsters. All other light monsters you control gain 500 attack. You can use each of the following effects of Galaxy Photon Dragon once per turn. You can detach 1 material from this card, take 1 Photon or Galaxy card from your deck, and either add to your hand or send it to the graveyard. And if a light monster that has a level is special summoned to your field, except during the damage step, you can target one of them, and its level becomes 4 until the end of this turn, giving you another rank up play with some of your other cards on the field, but it's mostly a setup card to rely on just needing 2 level 4 monsters. For the last of the Xyz monsters, 1 Zeus for overlaying if we've used the materials and all the other cards, just as another way to clear the field. And then for the Link monsters, 1 Galaxy Satellite Dragon and 1 Galaxy Eyes Soul Flare Dragon for both, once again, setup plays, search power, and being able to use Galaxy Satellite Dragon to number a number Xyz monster you control whose original attribute or type are Light Dragon, and until the end of the battle phase, its attack becomes equal to the value of the number monster it has times 100 as more of an attack boost, or like I said, search and setup depending on which one you want. For more generic Link monsters, we run 1 Hip Hoshinengen, 1 Heretic Seal of Spheres, and 1 Lena the Light Charmer, sticking to a full light attribute extra deck, so we're not really limited to any of the other cards we may go into. And then as for some of the go-to plays in the deck, the setup with our Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon is very important. So even if we go for a Photon setup, if we special summon Thrasher and then special summon Advancer, not even taking up our normal summon yet, you can overlay the 2 together to go into either our new Galaxy Photon Dragon or our Star Liege Lord Galaxion, detaching 2 for this monster effect to special summon a Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon from our deck onto the field. With that, we have a special summon used for both of these cards. Since you have your Photon Thrasher, that while you control no monsters, you can just special summon it, then using your Advancer to then special summon while Photon monsters on the field. So you still have your normal summon as well. You can even then go for the next play using both of your Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon and your Star Liege Lord Galaxion to go into a Link 2 play to summon out your monster being Galaxy Eyes Soul Flare Dragon. And if it's Link summon, you can target a Photon or Galaxy monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. So then you could add your Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon back to your hand, giving you that search and setup. You still have your normal summon, so then you can normal summon out your Galaxy Summoner, and when it's normal summon, you can target a Photon or Galaxy monster in your graveyard, summon it onto the field, and then if you go for the additional setup for your cards on the field, making them level 4, you can overlay into your new Galaxy Eyes Xyz monster for, once again, another setup play for your bigger monster on the field to rely on. If you're going for more of a rank 8 Xyz play, you can have the same setup with your cards if you control the Galaxy Eyes Photon monster, and then with that you can also reveal the Photon monster in your hand to special summon Galaxy Brave, and then its level becomes the level of the monster that you revealed. And if it's normal special summon, you can target Galaxy monster in your graveyard, and its attack and defense become equal to that. So either that or the token play to set up your Photon Thrasher. You can have the reveal and then activate your Photon Sanctuary, giving you the 2 tokens, trimming them, special summoning out your Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, overlaying the 2, and then going into your number 62. Then finally overlaying, using that card into your number C62, which you have the full power of as long as you have number 62 on it, and then just for the detached, keeping your Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon on as well. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed. Like I said, it's a really awesome deck and probably one of the highlight cover decks of the Photon Hypernova set. So definitely can't wait to do a little more testing with it as well. And as always, until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And Kira Twig out.